نحمده ونصلي على رسول الكريم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So, as you know by now, our talks have been looking at constructing journalistic stories and also modern storytelling, but on the basis of classical Islamic scholarship. So in my last talk, I was talking about historical sources and looking at the fact that there's a problem with historical sources in that uh, history is usually written by the victor, not by the vanquished, and as such, a very unfavorable opinion of the vanquished is usually given in history. So that was yesterday. So as you know, that we are taking the principles that guide Hadith study, and Hadith being news stories, literally news stories from the life of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So we take these as a blueprint for modern journalism. So as far as journalistic, as far as sources are concerned, which we call rawat, sources in Hadith study, we call it rawat, one source, and one source being a rawi. So as far as these sources are concerned, an anonymous source would be a non-starter as far as Hadith is concerned. In journalism, the picture is more complicated because, as you know, there's an old adage that a journalist never reveals his sources. So there's a degree of anonymity for sources in journalism in any case. So this puts an enormous onus on the journalist to be fair in the way that he or she uses his or her sources, and also to have lots of sources so that the opinion, the picture given by one source is not given undue importance. So I was reminded of this point by an interview that was conducted either last night or the night before on a BBC television program with a senior civil servant, and the interview was about a inquiry that is currently ongoing regarding a senior minister in the current British government. So the interview was conducted anonymously. The senior civil servant's name was not divulged. I mean, the obvious reason for this, I don't know what the reason was, but the obvious reason is that a civil servant is not allowed to go public like that. It's pretty well in every country that someone who works for the government is not allowed to go public on a statement of that sort. So, but there must have been intense deliberations, I'm sure, in the BBC about whether this interview should have been aired or not. And I'm not going to give judgment on that matter. It's not at all for me or anyone else to judge. The people who took the decision know best about the pros and cons. But what I can say is that the accuser, effort should be made to allay the picture that this person, that an anonymous accuser is given. Effort should be made to allay the picture. In this case, it was extremely unfavorable about the minister, so even more effort should be made to give the other side of the picture, to ask challenging questions. Why, for instance, are you talking to us and not to the inquiry? Because there, of course, civil servants have to, so it would be the obvious thing. So these sort of questions should be asked, and were to a certain extent asked. So, you know, one has to give the other side of a picture. To allay anonymity, one has to give the other side of the picture. And here, what we've been saying again and again, lots of sources, asking challenging questions of your anonymous source in order to ensure that they're giving a fair picture, giving the other side of the picture from other sources. And I must say, from what I see, you know, on the BBC website, that efforts have been made in this direction. But I'm sure that even within the corporation, you know, the jury is out as to whether this interview should have been aired or not. But I think that if, you know, strenuous and painstaking efforts are made by the journalist to ensure that the other side of the picture is given and undue importance is not given to the anonymous source, then you know, one can only do one's best in that regard, to give both sides of the picture and not to give undue importance to an anonymous source. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.